groom Madge while he's eating his grain. I always play some soft music so it can just be soothing right off the get-go. But it's very meditative to me, especially when you have an individual that's super shy and ultra sensitive to touch. And I am using a curry. As I move slow. The curry is a metal round, which is wonderful. It's got a great handle, and many people may be familiar. Some use a rubber one that fits on the hand, and they go in circles. I prefer to go with the direction of the hair and really focus on how the horse is responding and feeling about the situation. And so I'm going to be here so you can see his face, and you'll see what I'm doing. I'm trying to get his whole body in it. But the key here to me is to notice when they're communicating so that we can adjust ourselves, not so much impose on them what we want. So he's free to move away. He does sometimes when I'm too much, and that's also another mindful practice of how I'm feeling in my body when I can ground myself and bring myself back to a really calm state so that he can feel safe. So Majesty, I'm gonna just approach with his eye. I see his eye, and then I'm gonna come back this way, and then I'm gonna stroke. And we don't want him to get so nervous that he stops really enjoying his meal. His body will tense up. He might go into a freeze kind of mode, but with the movement and slowly going from one place to another, giving him an opportunity to get used to that rhythm. He's very face shy. So he's got he looks like a curly, but he is not a curly. He's a Pasofino, and he had years of being in Charo. That sound on my jacket kind of made him nervous, so I'm just paying attention to that and really wanting to engage in a two-way conversation. I'm lifting my head and I'm looking away as he does. I don't necessarily have to move my whole body to give him less pressure. I'm going to take a couple deep breaths and allow him to come back to his food. He's got carrots. He's like, my teeth. I slice them really, really thin, and another thing, we don't want to be like really timid and like, really tense. We really want to be like, if we are being slow and we're being cautious and aware, that we're not like super tight in our body, kind of moving in a way that's kind of nervous to them. They're like, why are you doing that? Why are you behaving that way? I speak slowly, I speak softly, because I feel their hearing is very good. That hurt. She kind of flinched to that, so I'm going to stop working on that piece there that way, and I might put this underneath my arm and then go to working it out again. So the floofs, I call them floofs, because they're just hair that kind of gets balled up from the water, the rain, and I just matched him. He lifted that leg and I lifted mine and put it back down. Just rebalancing and just letting him know I'm being very aware of him. My breath is very fluid. I'm taking deep breaths and really feeling. And that one's it's still sticky, so it needs to grow a little bit more. So I will not be working on that anymore. I'll stop there. The key to the sharing, when I'm sharing, is that for so long, we've thought of horses as, being service animals, serving us as humans and what we want from them. And in this home where they are living, they've had a life of that, and so they typically don't experience human relationship like this, where the human's really paying attention to the information they're sharing with us as far as their body language. And so it's different and sometimes a little weird for these guys that haven't had that before. And I want to say he's kind of suspicious. Like maybe he did have somebody he trusted, and then there was somewhat of a. I'm just going to go a little further up here and see if I can just check in here. Great way to check for wounds and things like that, or abrasions the older guys get from laying down a lot. But my point is that sometimes he kind of looks at me like, really? I don't know if I trust that. So it's an opportunity to show him that he can trust. And he can let down some of these guards that he's grown to create in order to feel safe. Just like we do. We create habits and patterns that have worked for us. We may play small and do things less risky because now we're afraid of being judged or not liked. I don't think that they go from that place. I don't think that's how a horse thinks, but I feel like it's an opportunity for us to look at that and begin to examine ourselves a little bit more. And wow, what kind of survival mechanisms do I have in place? What kind of patterns have I created? Am I not, taking risks and doing some fun things because I'm afraid? Oh, hi baby, good boy. I'm not going to push that. He's kind of looking at me a little nervous. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share. That's how impactful this can be for them to feel seen and heard and gotten and appreciated. Now, it doesn't by any means mean that I don't do certain things with him that really frighten him when I am presenting something that is new or seems to be frightening to him, or if he's very avoidant. I will just look at how I can build his confidence in it little by little. So, for instance, if he doesn't want to be haltered, I will have a conversation with him basically in a physical way of showing him, I see your concern and I respect that, and then I want to try this. Would you be willing to check this out? So I might step forward, offer him my hand, and then when he smells my hand, walk away. So that it's not like I'm just going to do the job. I'm letting him go in incremental steps to the end goal with a lot of mindfulness and thoughtfulness in how he's receiving it. And then in that process, his confidence built in not only himself but me and our relationship. And that kind of gets easier and easier every time because he's learned in this manner that he's safe. Ultimately, that's all they want to feel, is safe. They like to know what's coming. They like routine. Don't we all? The unknown is very scary. And to the extent, there could be a change in the environment. I can change a panel. I can change the way they enter this pen like I did. I changed it so it was easier to access through the mud. And it was really hard for them to get used to. They were standing at the old gate. And that makes sense, right? Because that's what they're used to. So I did the change early in the day, so throughout the day they could get used to it and not run into it at night. I think they got good vision at night, but some of them are compromised, the older ones. They do have their patterns and they make things very easy for themselves. Oh boy, I'm going to stop on that one. And now I'm going to go to his right side, which is a more nervous side. He's a lot more confident with me on the left. So I'm going to just head on over there in a sec, but I do it slowly. I don't just abruptly move over there and start over. I start from here and I move through. So there's this fluid rhythm. It's another thing horses really seem to appreciate is a rhythm. So you're asking for a foot. I might give a little rhythmic pressure to the fetlock joint just above the hoof so that I can help them feel what the question is. And they can think about it and get into that movement where they start to balance themselves and prepare to lift that foot. I find it rude to kind of walk up to them and just grab the foot with an expectation that if I want that foot, you're going to give me that foot. I think there needs to be a sense of autonomy for them. I think it's really important that we're giving them an opportunity to adjust and prepare for things. Good boy, you're doing so good with me on the right. Good boy. So yeah. Hi Tag, how are you, bud? Take your time. So I put Majesty in here to have his supplemental grain. He gets 4 doses a day, just due to his teeth and such. He needs the calories that way. He is not like skin and bone because we don't feed him enough. This is Cushing's, and he has muscle wasting along the top line, muscle wasting in the hindquarters here. It's large muscles. He's got a secondary disease, which is the degenerative suspensory ligament disease, and it creates a whole new shift in the way the body works. He's gonna get some water. Good boy. You want some water? You're gonna chew it. Feel good? I want to get some of this achiness off of you, huh? Oh, the hair on the ground. It's like a rug. So cool. So anywho, carrot. Anyway, thank you for watching. On our website, we have the opportunity for people to sponsor the horses. All 8 are available for sponsorships. There's tiers, so there's different levels. Gosh, that water's cold, huh, Bubba? And so if you're interested at all, please go to the website, pregnantmarerescue.org. All one word, Pregnant Mare Rescue. And you can find their stories. Find out who they are, where they've been, and what's needed. So thank